So I just got finished watching the Dr. Drew debate on good hair, and I just had a couple of things to say about it. I first wanted to say that he did a great job on the whole selection. I thought that Kim Cole was an excellent choice. She's very involved in the natural hair community. Her natural hair story is very similar to that of many other natural girls, so she's very relatable. And she has a very good spirit, and she's also been educating herself about what's been going on in the natural hair movement and why things are the way they are. And so I thought that he couldn't have done any better with that. I also liked his I also liked the fact that he had Felicia Leatherwood on there. She is very knowledgeable, very talented, also very involved in the natural hair community, and so I thought that that was a really good thing. I also thought that the first interview was a good choice. The woman had issues with her natural hair. She wore weaves over it, but she did not pass those on to her daughter. In fact, she took great care to make sure that her daughter did not have the same insecurities that she did. And she realized that her problem was her perception and not her hair. So I have to applaud her and applaud that casting choice. I thought that was a good thing. My issue came with the panel, as did with a lot of people. I was having an issue with this term manageability, as used in conjunction with good hair and natural hair, and I just wanted to kind of talk about that. First of all, the term good hair comes, of course, from slavery. Slaves, when slaves were taken from their home, they were not allowed to take their hair utensils. African hair utensils, African hair tools were very different to European hair tools, of course, because African hair is very different to European hair. And when they left for America, they didn't pack. They were taken. So they didn't take any of these tools with them when they finally got here and when they were finally allowed to groom, because for a long time they weren't. They were given European tools to groom with, which are, as we know, combs and brushes. Things that if you read any good hair blog, things that these hair blogs will warn you against not to use on your kinky hair. Also, slaves were not given a lot of time to get ready before they had to go out and work. And so good hair became, if your hair could be done expeditiously with these European tools, meaning that your hair is closer to European texture, you had good hair. If your hair could not be managed by these tools, you had bad hair, kinky hair, hair not to be desired, basically. And William Lynch, evil genius, also made sure that people with these textures, people with features closer to European features, were held in higher esteem. The house slaves, we all know where that comes from. This term manageability I have always struggled with. And it has a lot to do with the origin of good hair. Good hair, manageable hair, closer to European texture, because Africans were using European tools. If a person with straight hair tried to do the things that people with kinky hair do, if that was the norm, straight hair would be considered unmanageable. Do you understand? My hair is a 4B, 4C. It's actually both of them. If I don't want to do my hair if I don't want to look at my hair for a month or a couple of weeks, I can throw my hair. It's normally out. I throw it in these goddess locks. I'm sorry, these genie locks. I'm sorry, or these yarn braids, and I don't have to touch it. If I tried to do the same thing with straight hair, it'd have to come out in a couple of days, and it would not be as easy to put in. If straight hair tried the updos, straight hair can't go into updos like kinky hair can. There are a lot of things that kinky hair can do that straight hair can do. And if we use kinky hair as a standard, then straight hair would be unmanageable. I don't say that to say that straight hair is any worse than kinky hair. I say that to say there are limitations to every texture. You have to find the strength in yours. If you're trying to make your hair do what straight hair can do, it's going to be unmanageable. You're not going to be able to manage it. And the reason why people view the straighter hair as more manageable, even black people, is because well, to be blunt, they've had a longer time to figure out what to do with their hair. People with straight hair don't generally alter their hair permanently. So they've figured out solutions for any problem that they've had. We're still figuring out. A lot of us are just going natural. I just went natural about 3 years ago, and I'm still figuring out a couple of things. Whereas a lot of these people with straight hair have had natural hair, have their straight hair and their natural texture for as long as they know. So them and people like them have figured out techniques while we are still figuring out ours. I think that there are a lot of things you have to consider when you talk about your natural hair. People that have your texture, why things are the way they are. Learn where your terminology comes from, why you think the way you do. I think that my hair is very manageable to me. If I had a daughter with my type of hair, I would know exactly what to do because I've been dealing with my own hair. If I had a daughter with straight hair or curly hair, I would be less inept. It would seem more unmanageable. Am I making sense here? When a stylist talks about your hair being unmanageable, it doesn't speak to your hair. It speaks to their skill set. They have to get more educated. It's not you that has to get a relaxer and make your hair be more like the texture that they are used to dealing with. If you are used to dealing with kinky hair, then kinky hair is manageable to you. Kinky hair is manageable to me. I know what to do in order to manage it. I am not so familiar with straight hair, so that would be unmanageable to me. So I think that we have to kind of use our terms correctly. Manageable hair is relative. Good hair comes from slavery. All hair can become unmanageable if not properly cared for. The reason why kinky hair right now is not as socially accepted is not kinky hair's fault. There are a lot of other factors at play that you have to take into consideration. I don't think that these were really touched on, which is why I'm kind of talking about it. I don't quite have the fan base of Dr. Drew, but I do hope that this helps somebody. Your hair is what you make it. If you don't do anything with it, it'll become unruly. If you have straight hair and you never comb through your hair, it'll become a tangled mess. Okay? If you have kinky hair and you never moisturize it, it'll become dry and unmanageable. If you have straighter hair and you don't wash it, it'll become gross. You don't wash enough, it'll become gross. If you have kinky hair and you wash it too often, it'll become gross. There are rules to every texture. Once you learn yours, it's manageable. Once you learn yours, it's not unruly anymore. Don't listen to any of these other people out here that are telling you that there are things that you have to do or that there are certain adjectives that you just must use with your hair, like nappy, thick, unruly. Well, your hair is thick, but that's not a bad thing. And there are, I feel like until we have a complete change in language, until we have a complete change in mindset, we're going to have to keep having corrections like this. So, that's all I really have. Hope I made sense. I'm still a little hot from what I saw. Derek J's comment I thought was very ignorant, but I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory why that's ignorant. I kind of just addressed it. So, that's it. Thanks for watching. Bye.